Let's talk about how failure helps to build your character and your life. I know this is not exactly the most fun topic, but stay with me because this is important. We live in a world that's equal parts exciting and terrifying, and failure, just another part of life. But here's the twist. Failure isn't your enemy, it's your ally. If you're like most people, you've spent most of your life trying to avoid failure. Maybe you've been told that failure means you're not good enough, not smart enough, etc. Social media doesn't help. Everywhere you look, people seem to be thriving, showing off their wins while keeping their setbacks hidden. It's easy to feel like you're the only one who doesn't have it all figured out. But the truth? No one has it all figured out. Those wins you see, they're built on a foundation of mistakes, stumbles, accidents, and failure. Let's flip the script on failure. What if I told you failure is one of the most powerful tools that's available to you? What if I told you that it's not just okay to fail, but necessary? Let's check it out. Perfection is a myth. First things first, let's talk about this obsession with perfection. It's an illusion. Perfection isn't real, and chasing it is like a dog chasing its tail. You'll exhaust yourself trying to meet an impossible standard. Worse, the fear of failing may paralyze you into not even trying. You'll avoid taking risks because you're afraid of screwing up, and that's no way to live. Instead, remember this. The most successful people in the world didn't get where they are by never taking chances. They got there by being brave enough to fail. Look at a baby. They're not afraid to try anything. And they fail constantly, but they get up over and over again, and eventually they walk. They run, but only because they never give up. Failure isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign you're trying, learning, and growing. You learn more from failure than you ever will from success. Think about the last time you made a big mistake. Sure, it might have sucked in the moment, but I bet you learned something from it. Maybe you figured out what doesn't work. Maybe you learned how to handle stress, or realized you're more resilient than you thought. That's the thing about failure. It's packed with lessons. When you're knocked down, you're forced to reflect. What went wrong? What can I do differently next time? Failure shines a spotlight on the areas where you can grow, and that kind of feedback is priceless. Success doesn't teach you much. Success confirms knowledge, but losing actually teaches you something about yourself. It's in the setbacks that you'll find the insights that push you forward. Resilience is your real superpower. Failing and getting back up is what builds resilience. You're going to face rejection, heartbreak, and disappointment in life. There's no escaping it. But resilience, that's what lets you pick yourself up and keep going. Every time you fail and recover, you're building mental toughness. You're proving to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Think of resilience like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first time you fail at something that's important to you, it hurts. But as you keep going, you start to realize failure isn't the end of the world. You start to trust yourself to handle setbacks, and the confidence in yourself that you gain in the process, that's yours. Failure fuels growth. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. If everything you tried was easy and smooth, you'd never really grow. Failure forces you to stretch. It's what challenges you to think differently, to innovate, to do better, to be better. Think about the first time you tackled something new, like learning a skill or navigating a job. You probably fumbled a bit, maybe even a lot. But through those initial mistakes, you figured it out. Failure is the catalyst for progress. It's proof that you're taking on challenges that matter. Failure isn't fatal. Sometimes failure feels like the end of the world, but it's not. It's just a setback. Life isn't about getting everything right the first time. It's about the journey. Some of the best experiences come from paths you never planned to take. A failed relationship teaches you what you need in a partner. A lost job forces you to find something better. A missed opportunity opens the door to something you couldn't possibly have imagined. Changing your relationship with failure. So how do you make failure your ally instead of your enemy? Start by changing how you think about it. When you fail, it's easy to spiral into negative self-talk. I'm not good enough. I'll never get this right. But those thoughts aren't helpful or true. Failure isn't a reflection of your worth. It's just evidence that you're trying something new. Start looking at failure as an opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And above all, give yourself some grace. Nobody's perfect, and expecting perfection from yourself will only hurt you in the long run. Laugh it off. Sometimes the best way to deal with personal failure is to laugh at yourself. Not in a dismissive way, but in a way that takes the sting out of it. Messed up that big presentation? Slipped and fell unexpectedly? It happens. Laughing reminds you not to take life too seriously. It's a way of saying, okay, that didn't go as planned, but I'll live. Here's the mindset you want to embrace. Fail forward. Every failure is a step toward your goal as long as you're learning from it. Each step is progress. It's part of the journey, not the end of it. Imagine your life as an experiment. Try things, take risks, screw up, and try again. You will figure out what works for you. You won't get it right all the time, but that's okay. Each failure gives you more clarity about who you are and what you want. I've failed so many times. And while I hated those moments at the time, I'm grateful for them now. Those failures taught me resilience, creativity, and self-awareness. They showed me what I'm capable of, not in spite of the failures, but because of them. So here's my advice. Be brave. Take risks. Don't let the fear of failing keep you from trying. And when you do fail, because you will, we all do, pick yourself up and keep going. Failure isn't the end, it's just a stepping stone. Failure is your ally, your teacher, your catalyst for growth. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it push you forward. You can do this.